Have you always wanted to build a calligraphy business but didn't know where to start? Well, you're in the right place because hello, my name is Rosie and I am a six-figure calligrapher as well as the founder of the Craft Academy. After making so many business mistakes and losing lots of money for the first 3 years of my business, I have actually dedicated my entire life to helping calligraphy entrepreneurs avoid the same mistakes and reach their path to success much faster. But first, did you know that Meghan Markle actually had a calligraphy side hustle? That's right. Before stepping into the spotlight, Meghan Markle actually worked at the paper source and taught calligraphy classes as her part-time job while she was auditioning for different shows. I mean, check out her wedding speech written in gorgeous calligraphy. I mean, hello, obviously she's talented. Whether you're an aspiring calligrapher or you already have some experience in that realm, starting your own calligraphy business can be one of the most fulfilling and fun creative adventures that you've ever had in your entire life. And that's speaking from experience. So if you want to be like Meghan Markle and you want to start your own side hustle, I'm actually going to guide you through the process of setting up your calligraphy business, from building your skills to actually promoting your own services. Let's grab a cup of coffee or some tea and get ready to dive right into the wonderful world of calligraphy. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of how to build a calligraphy business, I wanted to kind of get into 3 main reasons why you should start a calligraphy business in the first place. Number 1 is achieving fulfillment. Honestly, there's no better feeling than stepping into your true artistic potential and sharing your purpose through art. When I have kids, I cannot wait to teach them the values of stepping into your creative freedom and really just doing what you want and owning your time. And that leads us to number 2, which is owning your own time and creative freedom. I remember when I was working in the pharmacy and I had to request time off 1 full year in advance. At that time, I was at the full mercy of the scheduler. In order to get that time off, I actually had to work all the weekends, all the graveyard shifts, and all of the holidays. Even then, I didn't even know if I was gonna get approved for those vacations. So now that I own my time, I can actually take off the time whenever I want to, which is one of the greatest feelings ever. And number 3 is your income potential and alignment. So once your business really starts to take off, you can start to diversify your income, and we'll get into that in the next part of the video, but you can really diversify your income and get to 6 figures, if not multiple 6 figures and beyond. And that means no more hitting the glass ceiling and dependent on your manager's review to get a raise. You can also control exactly how your business is operated. That means that whatever your business does and sells, you can actually stay truly aligned with your business for you. So I hope I presented a convincing argument for you to start your own calligraphy business. And if you are and you're ready to get started, let's hop to it. Here are 4 really easy steps for you to build a calligraphy business that is not only profitable, but is authentic to you as well. And those 4 steps are test, build, accelerate, and scale. That's it. 4 really easy steps for you to build a calligraphy business that is authentic to you and is sustainable. So in part 1, in the test phase, this is actually the most fun part of starting a calligraphy business, because this is the time for you to experiment with all of the skills, mediums, and different products that you have. I mean, within reason, of course. Like, don't go and buy thousands and thousands of dollars worth of products if you haven't tested the market and done your market research yet. Definitely experiment, have fun, and kind of play with the different mediums and different types of calligraphy that there is. I know calligraphy sounds like a very niche market, and it is, but there's also a lot of many niches inside of it, and that could include brush calligraphy, pointed pen calligraphy, engraving. There's even bottle painting, leather foiling, pyrography, and there's so many different tools that you can do to customize something as simple as a perfume bottle. That's honestly one of my favorite parts of having a calligraphy business, is being able to experiment and buy some different tools and be able to expense them to the calligraphy business versus just having it be a hobby and getting it pulled out of my normal income. At this point, I encourage you to learn as much as you can and just absorb the information and put that into practice. So the best way to learn is to learn from someone who has done the thing that you want to do and is living the life that you want to live. The best way to do that is to take an online course, hire a coach, watch tutorial videos as much as you can, attend workshops, and really enhance those skills. And of course, practice, practice, practice. It all comes down to muscle memory. There's so many people that come by my engraving table that say like, oh wow, you must have really nice handwriting. And I'll be honest, sometimes my handwriting looks like chicken scratch, especially if I'm in a rush. But if I have the time, then my calligraphy and my cursive looks great. But it's not like that all the time. It really comes with practice. Just get it down to the point where it's like all muscle memory, and you will go from there and you'll feel super confident when you actually go out. I will drop some resources down in the description below for you so that you can kind of get access to it and learn from some of the other Craft Academy members that continue to scale their business and have multiple forms of income. At this point, I really do encourage you to take a look and do some introspective work into your business and kind of determine what your North Star is. What is your mission and purpose behind the business, and why do you want to start a calligraphy business in the first place? And if you want help with that, definitely feel free to download the Niche Down to Blow Up worksheet down below. I do also talk about it in my Pharmacist to Calligrapher video, so make sure that you check that out so that you can hear the full story so I don't reiterate it here. I definitely encourage you not to skip this part, because this is probably one of the most important exercises in building a calligraphy business in the first place, is really determining what your underlying motivation is and why you want to start a calligraphy business. I have coached at least 120 students at this point, the ones that kind of come back and the ones that don't necessarily have the success or feel lost in their business. It's because they don't have a North Star to align themselves with. Definitely take a look at that. Feel free to book a call with me if you're having trouble with determining that portion of your business. At this point, I would actually want you to determine what specific calligraphy service you actually want to offer in your business. And this could include a myriad of things like doing wedding invitations, wedding signage, birthday parties, live events, physical products, digital designs, fonts, Procreate brushes. You can literally build a calligraphy business out of any of those things. And I've seen people do it time and time again. So don't gravitate towards those industries that you feel is the most successful. Gravitate towards the ones that are the most aligned with your business. And at this point, I do recommend picking your top 2, maybe even 3 niches so that you can actually get really, really good at those things, become really known for offering that service or product, and actually build your authority with your ideal audience. And then once all of that is kind of done, then it's time for you to open up your offerings one step at a time. So don't do all of the things and sell all of the things, because like I say, if you're everything to everyone, you're nothing to no one. So definitely choose the ones that you gravitate towards the most because you really enjoy it, not because other people are doing it. The last part of the test phase is to identify your ideal audience and conduct market research. Use this time to understand who your competitors are and why they stand out, and figure out how to differentiate your business from their business. So remember that copycats are always copycats, and the business will never flourish if you're just copying someone else. I learned that the hard way, so I don't want you to make that same mistake. Just remember, be as authentic to you as possible and make these items because you love it and because you resonate with it. Make a list of your top 5 favorite brands that resonate with your why and your ideal products as well. Take those top 5 businesses and adapt it to your business. If you copy someone outright and are somehow still successful with it, you might wake up one day years down the line and find that your business no longer aligns with you and you'll have to start all over. And that's happened so many times, I can't even tell you. So please take my advice and build a business that is authentic to you. So now that we've completed the test phase, it's time to start building your business, which is kind of the fun part, but it's also fairly tricky. So with the build phase, I actually recommend that you start selling your products and services, even if you have very little experience. I want you to start selling your products and your services to your friends and family, and even coworkers if you have them. I want you to start selling things because then you'll start to feel and determine if you like it or not, or if it's something that you enjoy doing for yourself as a hobby. So I know your next question is, how much do I charge my friends and family? And that's going to be really tricky as well. I actually recommend charging from the very beginning, even if you're brand new to the entire service. If you want to, you can start doing things for free free for trade for maybe getting your portfolio building or something like that. You can do photo shoots with people that are in your area if you'd like to, and that really helps to build that portfolio. The only thing is, I don't want you to get taken advantage of, especially as an inexperienced calligrapher. I would say if you're going to do things for free, start off with a number in mind. Let's just say 5, for example, and you're limited to 5 free products or services for this entire thing. After that, you're going to start charging $5, $10, $20, and so on and so forth. And the reason why is because even a small amount like $5 or $10 is actually going to give you that boost of confidence and give you the courage to continue building your business, because now you've actually exchanged your service for currency. So your long-term goal is actually to get to a studio minimum of at least $50 and increase that by $50 every time. So 50 to 100 to 150 until you feel satisfied with where you are with your current business and how much you're getting compensated. For me, my minimum actually started off at $50 as well. And that was when I started to actually feel like I was making a decent amount of money with my calligraphy, because there's nothing worse than getting a job for writing one name and only charging $10 for that. That's not a sustainable business, and it's not worth it for your time and your talent. So now I'm going into my 6th year of business, and my studio minimum is $500. As for my on-site activations, my minimum actually started at $400 back in 2019, 2020, and now it's at $1,000. For today's market rate, I recommend that you start charging at least $175 per hour with a 4-hour minimum. So that's about $700 for the day. And it goes up from there with more and more practice. If you're hearing these numbers and you're like, holy crap, Rosie, that's way too much. I don't know why you're putting these expectations on me and it's just too much. That's okay. That's totally normal. I hear it all the time. And that's one of the things that we work through in the Craft Academy. So if you're hearing these numbers, you love how they sound, but you're really overwhelmed with how to actually apply that into your business, definitely think about the Craft Academy. If you want to learn more, just book a call with me or my team and we can talk about your business and how we can get you to those awesome market rates. So during this entire time that you are selling to your friends and family and doing things for trade, you need to capture the greatest photos and videos of all time. Just kidding. It really doesn't have to be that perfect, but I do encourage you to get as many photos and videos at all possible. Even if they're crappy, even if the lighting's horrible, even if your calligraphy is terrible and your skills aren't there yet, it doesn't matter, because all of that comes with practice and you're going to get better at it every single day and every single time that you try it. Honestly, the worst thing that can happen is you get better at your skill and then you have an amazing portfolio to compare to and look at it and say, wow, this is where I started and look at where I am now. So now that you've experimented and you started building your calligraphy business and some of the foundations, it's time for you to accelerate your business. We're gonna channel Hamilton here and we're gonna shout it from the rooftops and tell everyone. We're going to network online, offline, literally everywhere. You just never know who's going to be watching and coming across your profile. Okay, but I know you want to get a little bit more specific, so let's dive into that. Whether you have a physical product-based business or a service-based business, my number one recommendation is for you to have a website. Even a one-page website with your face, your name, description, 3 photos of your work, and a call to action is going to make a huge impact on your business growth versus not having anything at all. As long as your SEO is strong, you're on the right path. My second recommendation for you is to build your social media. And here's why, because it really does go hand in hand with your website. Out of all of my new clients, 50% of them have actually found me on my website. About 25 to 30% of them found me on my social media, and then 25% is from referrals. No matter where they find me, they always cross-check with the other. So if they found me on my website, they usually go to my social media to make sure that I'm a real life person and I'm a real professional, or vice versa. If they find me on social media, they'll go onto my website and they'll double check me as well, just to make sure that I am professional and I am who I say I am, and they can guarantee my work. And I will say that the pivotal part of my calligraphy career was actually when I went viral on TikTok. I was actually placed in front of OC Magazine, LA Magazine, NBC, Tinder, and so much more. And that can happen for you as well. So just don't neglect either or, just do both at the same time. But if I were to prioritize one, it would actually be your website, hands down. So do not neglect your website. My third recommendation is to start pitching to some of your favorite brands and create the opportunities that you're dreaming of. I'm not a proponent on waiting by the phone or the email and waiting for someone to slide into my DMs or my inbox. I love people who take initiative and put themselves out there, even if they're going to get rejected. It makes a huge impact on your growth as an entrepreneur and for your business as well. I would say start with the local brands that you know and love already. That way you can become their number one advocate when you finally start partnering with them because you love their product so much. At this point, you're probably going to get more no's than yeses, and honestly, that's okay. It only takes really 1 or 2 people to say yes to you, and that will start the snowball effect because they're going to tell their friends, they're going to love it so much and really show all of their friends and tell them about the activation, and hopefully that will get you some more referrals. Then you'll be on your way to getting that consistent income. This time is probably the most formative years of your business, and it really starts to shape you as an entrepreneur, as a person, and helps to grow you as a leader. So really enjoy the process and take this to heart. Congratulations, Biz Boss. You are now in the 4th phase, which is the scale phase. And now that you have your foundations in place, it's actually time for you to scale your calligraphy business to the moon. And I'm so excited for you. Our goal in this phase is to actually start to bring in more revenue, but actually decrease the amount of work that you're putting into it. And I know this kind of sounds counterintuitive and a lot harder than it sounds, but bear with me, it's totally possible. I've done it, countless others have done it, and I'm so excited to share this with you. The first thing you want to do is actually increase your rate. If you have gotten to a point where you're closing 50 to 75% of the leads that are coming in, it's time for you to start increasing your rate so that you can work less and make the same amount of money, if not more. With that, you actually want to set a revenue goal and run the math on how many products you have to sell or events that you have to do to reach that financial goal. From there, once that is all kind of under control, you've gotten the snowball effect already, it's time for you to start building multiple forms of income so that you're not just relying on just events or wholesale opportunities. This could include building a workshop, building a course, generating revenue online using digital download sales, things like that. And you want to start creating some evergreen content so that anyone who comes your way and happens to find you, whether it's through social media or your website, you want to create content that is evergreen so that they can continue to buy from you without you having to work all the time. From here, this is kind of the fun part, right? You can actually continue to grow and learn new skills and continue to invest in yourself, your education as a business owner, as well as your business as well. And maybe you need to start hiring someone if you're doing too much admin work and you need someone to take some of that off of your plate. But before we even get there, you have to establish a financial plan and budget to ensure that you can sustain your business in the long run. So definitely calculating your expenses and your income and just making sure that those match and are actually worth your time and your money that you're spending on it. And that's it. So those are the 4 really easy steps for you to build a calligraphy business that is not only sustainable, but authentic to you as well. By following these 4 steps, you can set up a calligraphy business with a solid foundation, and it actually increases your chances of success as well as having a solid foundation for it to actually build upon. So remember to stay authentic to you, stay focused and dedicated to your work. Ultimately, stay passionate about your work and remember your North Star. You'll be on your way to building a thriving calligraphy business that allows you the financial freedom and the time to spend with your loved ones or go travel or however that success looks to you. Building your calligraphy business can be scary, exciting, sometimes lonely and crazy all at the same time, but you honestly don't have to do it alone. I have created a program with over 120 amazing students, and they are just the most incredible people ever. We are the epitome of community over competition. We love sharing our knowledge. We don't gatekeep at all. And we really encourage you to be your authentic self. So if this is something that resonates with you, I definitely recommend checking out the Craft Academy. I will link that all down below. I have an awesome masterclass for you as well that kind of goes through the same things, but more in depth. So definitely check those out. And of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and tell me what phase of business are you in the comments. I want to help and actually create more educational videos just like this for you. And if you know someone who is thinking about building a calligraphy business or is having trouble scaling it, definitely feel free to share this video with them. It really does mean the world to me. It helps me so much and it helps me create these awesome free content videos just like this. I will see you in the next video. Happy engraving, everyone! So don't feel like you should, so don't resonate. So don't and so many other, I mean, check out her what